Welcome back to Grace's room. Today I'm going to be doing my very first story time. I don't usually do videos like this where I just sit in front of the camera and talk to you guys, so I thought it'd be a very fun thing to do. Today's story time will be all about losing things. Most people do probably not know, but I am a very disorganized person. I'm always losing things and I'm usually blaming other people for losing it, but in the end it's always me who ends up losing it. And funnily enough, I usually lose half of these things overseas, so it's quite unfortunate because it's not like I can really go to the other side of the world and get it back, so oh well. So the very first story I will be telling you about me losing things is probably the most stressful one on this list because it made me the most stressed and I knew that I was going to get in a lot of trouble for losing it, and it was when I lost my phone at Disneyland. So, it was nighttime at Disneyland, and I'm not sure if you guys know, but my favorite ride at Disneyland is the Matterhorn bobsled. It's a really big roller coaster on like a mountain, and it goes really fast, and it's like this monster that comes out of everywhere. It's really cool and it's really fun, and I love like really fast roller coasters. I'm a daredevil on roller coasters, like all the scary rides and stuff. So yeah, I really like this ride, and it was nighttime, and we hadn't eaten yet, so we were going to go have some dinner, but I really wanted to go on the Matterhorn bobsled before we left Disneyland to go have some dinner. So Dad agreed to go on the ride with me, so Mum and James went over to like Tomorrowland or something, and we went on the ride, and I remember I was holding onto my hat because we did like a really sharp corner, like, you know, it went really fast, and my hat was like about to fly off, so I was like holding onto it. But little did I know that my phone was in my pocket, and my pocket's not really deep, so it kind of like jumped out of my pocket, and silly me did not even think to put it in the compartment in front of me, which probably would have been much smarter, but I'm Grace. So yeah, jumped out of my pocket, and then the ride finished and we walked over to Tomorrowland, and I was, you know, we were gonna go get something to eat, and I was just about to, you know, pull out my phone, you know, just casually. I was gonna check Instagram or something, and I go to feel my pockets and it's not there. So I feel the other one, it's not there, and I check all my pockets and my phone is not there, and I was like stressing, like, okay, maybe I gave it to my mum. So I went to go ask my mum if she had my phone, and she didn't have it. She checked her whole bag, and that was when I was like, calm down. But I was really stressed because I knew my dad was gonna get so mad at me because, you know, it's a phone. So I tell him, and he's just like, you've got to be kidding me. And I'm like, no. So we went back over to the ride. We asked one of the attendants, you know, I've lost my phone, and he checked all the carriages, and I think it took about half an hour. My family was like starving, so he checked all the carriages, and the phone was not in there. So I was just really devastated. Dad's like, oh, maybe we'll turn up at like the Lost and Found in Disney or something, but I was just like sad because like I need my phone. So we started walking away, and then Dad had the genius idea to check and find my iPhone. So thank you for creating that app, Find My iPhone. So we checked the app, and it said that my phone was at the top of the mountain, like on the ride, like at the top of the mountain. And I was like, oh my goodness, like it jumped out of my pocket, out of the carriage, and now it's like probably having a fun time. Maybe the monster's probably taking selfies with my phone. So I thought, yeah, it was just stuck on the ride, and then I wouldn't get it back. So that was quite sad. But then all of a sudden, it started moving around like on the ride, and I'm like, oh, it's probably on one of the carriages. So he like told the attendant that, like, you know, it's moving around, it must be on one of the carriages, and he's like, oh yeah, like we found this phone before, and he pulls up my phone, and I was so relieved, like so much weight off my shoulders, and I'm like, okay, Dad's not gonna yell at me anymore, but obviously he was really mad, and he's like, now I cannot take like my phone on any rides anymore because I just feel like I'm gonna lose it again. But that was a very stressful story, and I'm just happy that I found it in the end. And yeah, so the next story I'll be telling you about when I lost another thing is, funnily enough, also at Disneyland. So the day after, we were back at Disneyland, and I really wanted to go on Space Mountain because it's such a fast ride and I really liked it, and yeah. So I actually got this really nice San Francisco Giants hat because I went to San Francisco before we went to Disneyland, and I really loved it. Like, I was wearing it every single day and it was just my favorite. And so I obviously couldn't wear my hat on the ride, like in the carriage, so I put it like in the compartment in the carriage, like so then it wouldn't fly off, because Space Mountain, as you know, is very fast. So we're on the ride, and then I get off, and obviously I left it in the compartment. So where were we? I think we were like maybe, I don't know, we were maybe walking like through the exit about to get out, and I think it was just as soon as we went through the exit, I realized I don't have my hat. Like, I realized, like, I saw other people wearing their hats, and I'm like, oh yeah, where's my hat? So, and then I was very stressed because I'm like, oh no, like I already lost something yesterday and they're gonna yell at me even more. So Mum and I raced back to like the exit area, and also like, you know, where you get like, where you exit off like the carriage, and we asked like the person who's like controlling it, like, my mum was like, my daughter like lost it, like left her hat like on the ride. Do you think you could like check to see if it's there? And like every time a carriage like came past, he like, you know, just checked all the pockets, and it wasn't there. So he's like, so she was like, come back in maybe an hour and, you know, maybe it might turn up or something. So I was very devastated, like, you know, when you lose something and it probably doesn't matter because, you know, you might get it back in like an hour, or you really just like want something. It's like the whole time you just can't be happy because you really want it back. It probably doesn't make sense. You know, the whole time I just really wanted my hat because I was just like stressed knowing that like I lost something and like I need it. So it was about an hour, and we went back to Space Mountain, and I remember like the whole time I was just checking the time, like, has it been an hour yet? Has it been an hour yet? And obviously it reached that time, and Mum was like, okay Grace, we'll go. So, you know, we went there, and she like checked through like this whole like lost and found box, and she pulled out my hat, and I was like, thank goodness it was there. So I was very happy I had my hat. I was just happy for the rest of the day, so that was good. This next story is also going to be another one that's overseas, obviously. So it was also last year. I'm not sure if I told you, but all these Disneyland stories were last year when I went to Disneyland. So when we first got to America last year, we went to San Diego, and my mum bought me this jacket like earlier. It was from Witchery, and I'm not sure if you guys know, but it's like an Australian, excuse me, it's an Australian store, and Mum got this really nice like khaki green jacket for me. It's like a puffer sort of jacket, and at first when she got it, I didn't really like it. I thought, oh, the colour's a bit weird or something, but that's when I had no taste in fashion. So eventually I fell in love with the jacket, and I would wear it every single time we went out, and it was just my favorite jacket. Like, I'd always wear it. So I thought that, you know, I'd bring it with me to America as well. So, you know, I wore it on the plane because it's a very cozy, warm jacket. And we got to San Diego, and obviously it was very hot in San Diego because it's like fall or something there. So I had my jacket like on, like we went to the restaurant because my room wasn't ready yet. So there was like a restaurant like across the road or something. We were there, and I took off my jacket. I'm pretty sure I can't really like remember where it was, because I remember it was as soon as I got back I realized that I didn't have my jacket anymore. So I took off my jacket, and I think I put it on the chair or something, and that was like the last I ever saw of it, because I think we just left the restaurant and I never saw my jacket again. And like I said before, I got back from America, like, because I remember maybe it was like when I was in Disneyland, I was looking for my bag, so I was going to wear like the jacket because it was quite cold at one of the restaurants, and I didn't have the jacket, and I thought probably at the bottom of my suitcase. I can't be bothered looking now. So it was only as soon as I realized, as soon as we got back, like I asked everyone, do you have like my jacket in your suitcase? And no one had my jacket. I was devastated because it was my favorite jacket and I didn't have it. So yeah, that's probably when I realized that I left it in San Diego, because that's like the last time I ever saw it. So yeah, that's quite sad. Okay, so the next story is it's back here at home. I lost this one. It was in my old house, before I moved to this new house, I had this really nice dress for my Samantha doll, my American Girl doll Samantha, and it's this really nice dress, and it usually be the one that I dress her in because I really liked it. And I remember, was it like maybe about 2 years ago or three maybe. I remember I was like, I don't know, I got home and I was like gonna dress my dolls or something, because like I had my American Girl doll set in the living room, so it was like right next to the couches and stuff. It was like in a special little corner next to the TV, and I had the dress. I remember I got home and I was going to dress my dolls, and I was going to dress Samantha in this dress because why not? And I remember I was looking through my whole closet, like the American Girl doll closet that I had for it, and I could not find it anywhere, and I was like, oh no, where is it? Like, and I asked everyone, have you seen it? Have you seen it? And no one had it, so I was really devastated, and I think eventually I just kind of forgot about it. And then I'd say about 2 months later, Mum was like vacuuming, and she like, you know, pulled up the couch and she was cleaning under it, and like, you know, as soon as I got home, like from my friend's house I think it was, she showed me and she's like, oh, I found like this under like the couch. And what did she pull out? The dress. Don't even ask me how it got there, I have no idea, but the dress was just underneath the couch, and I was so happy. Then I just remembered that I lost it, and yes, I can't believe it ended up there. So again, this next story is like at home, and it's kind of not really a story, it's just like overall. So, you know, at school, you know, you usually bring your lunchbox outside, you know, to playtime because all my food is in it. So half the time, like, I would always forget my lunchbox just in the schoolyard, and then like the next day it'd usually turn up like right where I left it, so that was good. But once I remember my mum packed like rice in like a thermos, so it wasn't like in wrap, like wasn't like in foil or anything, so I could just take it outside without the lunchbox in the thermos, so I had to take my thermos out to lunch. And I remember, I don't think I ate all my rice, I was a bit full. So I think I put it behind the tree because I went to go, you know, run around, like play with my friends. So I left it behind the tree, and I forgot it there obviously overnight, and I thought, you know, maybe I'd just get back like the next day, it'd probably just turn up there again, but it wasn't there. So like the next day it wasn't there, and then maybe I think I went to Lost and Found and it wasn't there either. And I'd say about a week later I went back to the schoolyard, and my friends and I sat in like in this tree. I think we sat where I originally had my thermos the first day, and then there was like a tree right where we were sitting, and the thermos ended up being right behind that tree where we were sitting, and silly me forgot that I actually put it behind the tree. So I was very relieved when I found it, but obviously when I opened it up, the rice was all just yuck. So yeah, it was a very smart idea. Moosh, yes. I'd always lose my lunchbox in the schoolyard, and I remember I'd always see other people losing their lunchbox as well. Like, you'd always just see lots of lunchboxes around, scattered around in the schoolyard because everyone would forget it there, but most of them would be mine. So this next story is going back overseas, and it was this year in Hawaii. So I remember last year when we went to Hawaii, my mum got this really nice lip balm from John Masters Organics or something, and it was like my mum's favorite lip balm, and she was spewing that she only got one of them because like she was like running out of that one. So when we got back to Hawaii this year, she was gonna go buy another one. And we went to, they have like a lot of ABC stores here. Like, I mean, like every single street you turn is an ABC store, like a pharmacy or something. No, not a pharmacy because they've got everything there. But so usually when my mum first got this lip balm, she found it at an ABC store, but we checked like a lot of ABC stores and they didn't have this lip balm. So we finally found this lip balm at like, was it Ala Moana, the really big shopping centre, because they actually had a store for it there. And so mum just grabbed a whole bunch of lip balms, so you know she'd never run out of it. And I remember I really wanted one as well, so I asked mum if I could get like one of the lip balms too, but I got the same one as her because it was a really nice lip balm. It smelled like lemons and it's just amazing. So we, we're at the hotel, and I remember I took out my specific lip balm, and I think I just left it like on the bedside table or something. And I remember, I don't know where I did. Oh no, so I didn't leave it on the bedside table. What am I saying? I don't know where I put it, but I just placed it somewhere. And then I remember I was going to go back to like use it, and I couldn't find my lip balm anywhere. And I was like saying, oh, Mum must have taken it or something. Like I thought like I was just blaming everyone for taking it. And I was like, I need this lip balm. So I asked I asked everyone, do you know where the lip balm is? I asked Mum to check her suitcase. I asked her to check the bag, and I checked everywhere, and I could not find this lip balm. Like, it obviously has not walked out of the hotel room, so where could it possibly be? And I was just so upset because like it was like it's not like the lip balm was like easy to find. Like I could just go walk over to the ABC store and get it again. So yes, that was quite sad. And then eventually I think I was going through like my suitcase the next day or something, and what do I find at the bottom of my suitcase? The lip balm. So I think I was kind of looking around at my parents like, oh, sorry for blaming you. Like, yes, I think everyone's just staring at me like, Grace. So the last story that I have today of losing things is the adventures of my Pandora bracelet. So I think last year I got this, oh no, sorry, it wasn't last year, it was this year. This year, like the start of the year, I got this really nice silver Pandora bracelet. It was like one of those bracelets you can add charms to, but it had like a little love heart charm in it, so I just wore it like plain like that. And it was like my favorite like bracelet. Maybe some of you might have seen me wear it in some of my videos, and I like loved that bracelet, and yeah, I'd wear it all the time. So I basically lost this bracelet about 3 times in total. So the first time was back here in Melbourne. So I was at a play centre for one of my friend's birthdays, and I think like the next day I realised that I wasn't wearing the bracelet, and I was like thinking, but I had it on last like night at the play centre, so where could it possibly be? Like, and then I think it just hit me like, oh no, I must have jumped off like at the play centre. So I think I told Mum straight away, and then she rang up like the play centre, and they looked through the lost and found, and at first they said, oh sorry, we can't find it. And then eventually like another lady was like, oh no, we do have it. So we drove there like the next day, and we got the bracelet, and there was that. But then we went overseas. Oh wait, yeah, so we went overseas, and then I remember I took it off for going to the beach, and I didn't really want to wear it to the beach because then probably go all rusty and stuff with the salt water. So we got back, and I think we were going to go out for like a walk or something, and I was like going for like the little jewelry box that I bought to Hawaii, and I was looking through it trying to find like the bracelet, and I couldn't find it. So I was looking everywhere for it. I emptied out my whole suitcase, and it ended up being in one of the shopping bags that I must have like just accidentally like thrown it in, like, because we were rushing to go to the beach or something. So I found it in there, but I think it took me about an hour before I found it, so that was a relief. And then this last story is probably like the last time I ever saw my Pandora bracelet. So we were going out to a restaurant and in Hawaii, and we were just like walking there, and then got back from the restaurant, and I can't remember, was it the day after I realized that I was not wearing like the bracelet again. So I'm like, oh no, where is it? So I obviously realized that it wasn't in the hotel room. I checked again, and it just wasn't there. So I remember Mum's doing this thing which is like, are you sure you didn't leave there? Are you sure you looked and stuff? I'm like, Mum, I'm sure I looked everywhere and I could not find this bracelet. So I thought maybe I must have left it in like the restaurant. Like I was kind of, because we went back to like this really nice cafe that was near the restaurant that we went to. So when we walked there, I was kind of like just looking on the ground, like, is there any Pandora bracelet here? So we looked, and I realized, actually just remembered now, I was kind of playing with the Pandora bracelet like before we went, like, because we had to wait for a table because it was very busy in there at the restaurant the day before. So I was kind of playing with the bracelet, and maybe I must have loosened it a bit. So we kind of traced my steps like the next day, and we went over to like the restaurant and we asked them, you know, do you think did anything show up in the lost and found for like a bracelet? And they looked, like the manager looked in like where we were sitting, and they didn't find it. So, and like, you know, we just didn't find it again, and I just realized that was the last I ever seen of that bracelet. So obviously is enjoying the sun in Hawaii. Maybe someone else picked it up and is wearing my very special bracelet, but it's okay. I had other bracelets, so it was fine, but I really liked that bracelet, so that was quite sad. Okay, so those are all of the stories that I have for you guys today about me losing things. I'm sure there are plenty more, but I can't remember all of them because it's just too many to count. I really hope you guys enjoyed my very first story time. Let me know if you guys enjoyed it, and I'll be sure to make many more, and I will see you next time on Grace's Room. Bye for now.